Welcome. Before we begin our intentional descent into the pressurized reality of the North Pacific Ocean, we must first calibrate the biological instrument that is your body. To understand a creature of the abyss, you must first learn to mimic the profound stillness of the abyss. Lie perfectly still now. Feel the weight of the atmosphere pressing down on your skin. A gentle, constant pressure of 14.7 pounds per square inch at sea level. Here, on the surface, we are often oblivious to this invisible weight. But in the world of the 52 Hz whale, pressure is the primary architect of all life and form. Take a slow, expansive breath. Fill your lungs, those two delicate, branching trees of oxygen and nitrogen, and then release. Feel the carbon dioxide leaving your system, a chemical exchange that has been occurring in various forms for billions of years. As you breathe, imagine the temperature of your body dropping, slightly, slowly, mirroring the cold reality of the ocean's thermocline. Your heart rate is beginning to slow, a physiological process known in marine biology as bradycardia. This is the same vital mechanism that allows a great cetacean to dive for hours on a single breath, conserving oxygen for the brain and the heart. Your pulse is no longer a frantic drum. It is a slow, rhythmic tide. Tonight, we are exploring the precise intersection of marine biology, deep-sea oceanography, and acoustic physics. We are looking for an anomaly, a ghost in the acoustic machine of the ocean. But to find him, we must first leave the world of light. You see, light is a fleeting and fragile visitor in the ocean. The red wavelengths of the visible spectrum are the first to be absorbed, vanishing within the first 30 feet of the water column. Shortly after, the oranges, the yellows, and the greens disappear, leaving only the deep blues, and eventually, the absolute, heavy darkness of the aphotic zone. In this world without photons, sound becomes the only reliable source of survival and data. Sound is not just something a whale hears with its ears. It is something they feel as a mechanical vibration in their very bones, and through their specialized fatty tissues. In the medium of seawater, sound travels at approximately 1,500 meters per second. That is more than 4 times faster than it travels through the air we breathe. This is because water is much denser than air. Its molecules are packed tightly together, allowing kinetic energy to pass from one molecule to the next with incredible efficiency. The ocean is not a silent place. It is a high-speed highway for vibrations. As you drift deeper into the comfort of your pillow, imagine your mind is a hydrophone, a sensitive, ceramic transducer, lowered into the dark. You are listening past the white noise of the surface waves, past the crackling of snapping shrimp in the reefs, past the low-frequency groans of shifting tectonic plates. You are searching for a specific frequency, a frequency that has defied the established laws of cetacean communication for over 3 decades. The mystery of the 52 Hz whale is not merely a story of solitude. It is a profound mystery of bioacoustics and fluid dynamics. It is about how a single, vibrating vocal fold under immense hydrostatic pressure can send a message across 1,000 miles of salt water, and how that message, though perfectly clear in its signal-to-noise ratio, can remain utterly misunderstood by every other living soul in the sea. You are safe, you are heavy, and you are now being tuned to the frequency of the deep. The descent is beginning. Every cell in your body is relaxing, yielding to the inevitable pull of sleep, just as the whale yields to the pull of the deep-sea currents. Imagine the salinity of the water around you, the specific salt density that provides a perfect, neutral buoyancy, allowing you to float without the slightest effort. Your limbs are weightless, Your mind is clear of the day's clutter, and the deep blue is expanding to fill your entire field of vision. We are moving down now, past the epipelagic zone, where the sunlight still dances, past the mesopelagic twilight zone, where the shadows are long and cold, and finally into the bathopelagic realm, where sound is the only truth. Think of the molecules of water, H2O, an oxygen atom bonded to two hydrogen atoms, forming a polar molecule that clings to its neighbors, creating the surface tension and the viscosity that defines the whale's world. This water is ancient. Some of it has not seen the surface for over 1,000 years. It is cold, it is dense, and it is waiting to carry the story of 52 Hertz into your consciousness. As we descend, the pressure increases. For every 10 meters we go down, the pressure increases by 1 atmosphere. At the depths where our whale wanders, the pressure is enough to crush a steel pipe. And yet, biological life thrives here. Flexible, fluid, and resilient. Your own stress is being crushed by this imaginary pressure, leaving only the core of your being, silent and ready to listen. The frequency is coming. Can you feel it? Not a sound, but a vibration, 52 cycles per second. A steady, rhythmic pulse that marks the passage of a lonely traveler. Your breathing is now perfectly synchronized with the swell of the deep ocean. In, like the rising tide. Out, like the retreating water. The surface world is a distant memory. A thin skin of light and noise that no longer has any power over you. Here, in the dark, there is only the physics of sound and the chemistry of sleep. You are prepared. You are calibrated. You are ready for the mystery. To understand how we first came to identify this specific biological anomaly, we must travel back in time to the late 20th century, a period of history defined by silent, underwater tension. In the 1980s, the world's oceans were not just habitats for marine life. They were the primary theater for a global, invisible struggle. The United States Navy had constructed a massive, classified network of underwater ears known as SOSUS, an acronym for the Sound Surveillance System. This was an engineering feat of staggering proportions, involving the placement of thousands of miles of heavy, armored coaxial cables across the jagged, volcanic landscapes of the North Pacific and Atlantic sea floors. These cables were connected to vast arrays of hydrophones, which are specialized ceramic transducers designed to convert the mechanical energy of underwater pressure waves into electrical signals for human analysis. The hydrophones of the SOSUS network were strategically placed within a very specific and scientifically fascinating layer of the ocean, known as the SOFAR channel. This stands for the Sound Fixing and Ranging Channel, or the Deep Sound Channel. It is a horizontal layer of water, typically located at a depth of between 600 and 1,000 meters, where a unique interaction between water temperature and hydrostatic pressure occurs. In this specific corridor, the speed of sound reaches its absolute minimum. Above this layer, the water is warmer, which increases the speed of sound. Below this layer, the crushing pressure of the deep increases, which also causes sound to travel faster, because sound waves naturally refract, or bend, toward regions where they travel more slowly. The SOFAR channel acts as a natural waveguide, or a sonic lens. Any low-frequency sound that enters this channel, such as the moan of a great whale or the distant vibration of a ship's engine, becomes trapped in a perpetual cycle of refraction, bouncing back and forth within the layer without ever reaching the surface or the seabed. This allows acoustic signals to travel for thousands of miles across entire ocean basins with almost no loss of signal strength. It was within this deep, silent highway of sound that the Navy's technicians sat in windowless rooms, wearing heavy headphones, listening to the heartbeat of the planet. Their primary mission was to detect the rhythmic, mechanical signatures of Soviet submarine propellers, the sound of cavitation bubbles collapsing against steel blades, and the low-frequency groans of pressure hulls. Each machine had its own unique acoustic fingerprint, a symphony of metal and oil. However, in late 1989, a technician at a naval facility in the North Pacific noticed a line on a scrolling spectrum that defied every known classification. It was not the chaotic roar of a tectonic shift, nor was it the rhythmic thrumming of a man-made engine. It was a biological signal. The phrasing was familiar, characterized by a series of repetitive calls that lasted between 3 and 6 seconds each, followed by a pause of precisely measured duration, and then repeated with the mathematical regularity common to the great cetaceans. But when the technician looked closer at the frequency scale, the data appeared impossible. Blue whales, the largest animals to ever grace this planet, typically communicate in the infrasonic range, singing at frequencies between 10 and 39 Hz. These are sounds so deep that human ears cannot perceive them as a distinct pitch, but rather as a profound vibration that can be felt in the soft tissues of the body. Fin whales, another massive species, communicate with steady, percussive pulses at exactly 20 Hz. But this new, mysterious signal was peaking at exactly 52 Hz. On a musical scale, 52 Hz corresponds roughly to the note of G sharp, a low, vibrating bass note that sits just at the bottom edge of human hearing. To a researcher, it sounded like a distant, ghostly tuba. But in the context of whale biology, it was a complete anomaly. It was too high for a blue whale, and too high for a fin whale. And yet, it bore the unmistakable signature of a giant. Imagine the confusion among the naval analysts who were the first to hear this voice. They checked the calibration of their hydrophones. They verified the integrity of the SOS-US cables. They looked for evidence of a malfunctioning underwater buoy. But the signal remained steady, persistent, and undeniably alive. The source was moving. It was traveling through the cold, nutrient-rich waters of the Pacific at a speed of approximately 2 to 3 miles per hour. It was not a machine, but a living, breathing entity of immense proportions. The Navy began to track this signal, assigning it a code name that would eventually capture the imagination of the world, the 52 Hz signal. For years, this was a classified military secret, a ghostly trace on a screen that was never meant to be shared with civilian science. As you lie there in the darkness, imagine the technician's perspective, staring at that single, glowing line on the monitor, a visual representation of a voice crying out from 1,000 meters below the surface. The frequency was so precise, so unwavering. 52 Hz, 52 cycles per second. It was a voice that existed in a frequency vacuum, a sonic space where no other whale was singing. It was like a person trying to join an orchestra while playing an instrument tuned to a key that didn't exist. The signal was clear. The signal was clear. But in the vast, interconnected web of the ocean's acoustic environment, it was effectively invisible to its peers. The bioacoustics of this discovery are profound. To maintain a frequency of 52 Hz for decades suggests a highly specialized biological structure. It suggests a larynx and a series of laryngeal sacs that are perhaps smaller or more tightly tensioned than those of a standard blue whale. It suggests a heart and lungs that can support the immense energy required to push air across vocal folds at that specific, higher frequency. Year after year, the SOSIS network tracked the whale as it migrated from the waters off California, up toward the Aleutian Islands, and back down into the Central Pacific It was a solitary traveler, a nomad of the deep, whose presence was known only to the silent ears of the military. Feel the stillness of the room around you merging with the stillness of that naval listening station. The world is quiet, but your mind is now open to the frequency of 52. You are becoming aware of the layers of reality that exist beneath the surface, the secret histories that are written in sound and pressure. The 52 Hz whale is out there. Even now, his voice traveling through the SOFAR channel, a steady, rhythmic pulse that bridges the gap between the known and the unknown. Your breathing is slow, your muscles are heavy, and you are drifting deeper into the mechanics of the mystery. Every exhale is a release of tension. Every inhale is a step further into the blue. You are no longer tethered to the surface world of light and noise. You are sinking into the acoustic history of the planet, where a single 52 Hz vibration is the only clock that matters. The hydrophones are listening, and so are you. Drifting, drifting, drifting into the deep, silent, and scientific dark. As we descend further into the indigo depths, where the hydrostatic pressure begins to exert its transformative power on both matter and mind, we must address the central biological question of this mystery. What kind of creature possesses the physiological capacity to generate a sustained 52 Hz signal? To understand this, we must look beyond the poetry of loneliness and into the rigorous world of cetacean genetics and laryngeal anatomy. The scientific community has long debated the hybrid hypothesis, a theory that suggests our solitary traveler is the rare, accidental offspring of a union between two of the largest species to ever inhabit the Earth. The blue whale, Balaenoptera musculus, and the fin whale, Balaenoptera physalis. Consider the immense complexity of whale vocalization. Unlike terrestrial mammals, whales do not possess vocal cords in the traditional sense. Instead, they have evolved a specialized structure known as the U-fold, a thick, muscular ridge of tissue located within the larynx. To produce sound, a whale shunts air from its massive lungs into a laryngeal sac. As the air passes over the U-fold, it creates a vibration. This vibration is not released as a breath, but is instead coupled directly to the surrounding water through the whale's soft tissues. In a blue whale, this system is tuned to resonance at extremely low frequencies, often below 20 Hz, requiring a massive, low-tension vocal apparatus. In a fine whale, the system is slightly different, producing a more percussive, higher frequency pulse. If our whale is indeed a hybrid, it exists as a biological mosaic, a unique intersection of two distinct evolutionary paths. Imagine a creature with the sheer physical volume and lung capacity of a blue whale, but with a laryngeal structure that is shaped or tensioned more like that of a fine whale. In the world of physics, frequency is determined by the tension, mass, and length of the vibrating element. By combining the genetic blueprints of two species, nature may have inadvertently created a vocal instrument that is perfectly functional, yet tuned to a frequency that falls into a biological no man's land. 52 Hz is too high to be recognized by a blue whale as a potential mate or kin, and it is too low and lacks the specific rhythmic gallop required for recognition by a fin whale. This creates a state of acoustic isolation, a phenomenon where a biological signal exists, is transmitted, and is received, but fails to trigger a behavioral response because it does not match any known template in the listener's brain. Scientists refer to this as a failure of conspecific recognition. To the other whales in the North Pacific, the 52 Hz song might be heard as mere background noise, a strange rhythmic interference coming from the deep sound channel, rather than a message from a living peer. As you lie there, Think of the sheer resilience required for a biological organism to continue this output. For over 30 years, this individual has expended vast amounts of metabolic energy to produce these calls. Every 5-second pulse at 52 Hz requires a significant caloric investment. And yet, the whale persists. Think about the cardiovascular requirements of such a journey. A whale's heart is a masterpiece of biological engineering. In a blue whale, it can weigh as much as an average sedan, pumping over 60 gallons of blood with every slow, powerful contraction. This heart must sustain the whale through thousands of miles of migration, through the crushing depths where the heart rate drops to as low as 2 beats per minute to conserve oxygen. In the case of the 52 Hz whale, this heart has beaten billions of times in total solitude, while the larynx has vibrated at that same unwavering frequency. It is a testament to the durability of life and the strange, beautiful errors that evolution occasionally produces. Recent advances in DNA sequencing of environmental samples, known as eDNA, have allowed scientists to begin searching for traces of this whale's genetic signature in the water column. By filtering liters of seawater, researchers can find microscopic fragments of skin, hair, or waste, searching for the specific markers of a bluefin hybrid. This is the modern frontier of the mystery, moving away from the cold metal of the SOFAR hydrophones and into the microscopic world of nucleotides and base pairs. We are looking for the code of 52 Hz, the specific sequence of proteins that built this unique voice. As you drift, imagine these microscopic strands of DNA floating in the dark, cold water around you. They are the blueprints of life, carrying instructions for hearts, lungs, and voices. You are part of this same biological fabric. Your own DNA is a complex code that has been passed down through countless generations. Feel the comfort in this connection. Even if the whale is unique, it is still made of the same stardust and salt water as the rest of the ocean's inhabitants. The 52 Hz signal is not an error. It is a variation, a unique frequency in the grand symphony of the biosphere. Your breathing is now so slow, so deep, that you can almost feel the individual molecules of oxygen entering your bloodstream. You are entering a state of metabolic rest, much like the whale during its long, deep-sea glides. The pressure of your thoughts is dissolving, leaving only the steady, rhythmic vibration of 52 Hz in the background of your consciousness. You are moving past the need for answers and into the acceptance of the mystery. The water is cold, the dark is absolute, and the science of the deep is lulling you into a state of profound, cellular peace. Every cycle of the 52 Hz wave is a second of your own relaxation. 52 vibrations. 1 second. 52 vibrations. Another second. The math of the deep is the math of your sleep. You are sinking, weightless, supported by the density of the saline water, moving toward the core of the North Pacific, where the only clock is the song, and the only goal is the rest. The hybrid heart is beating. The hydrophones are recording, and you are finally, deeply, asleep in the blue. As you continue your descent into the profound stillness of the midnight zone, let us map the physical reality of the journey taken by our solitary traveler. To truly understand the 52 Hz whale, we must look at the bathymetry of the North Pacific, the hidden topography of a world that is more rugged and vast than any continent on the surface. This is not a flat, featureless void. It is a landscape of immense geological violence and ancient, silent majesty. As the whale moves, he is navigating a labyrinth of underwater mountain ranges known as seamounts, deep-sea trenches that gash the Earth's crust, and vast, silty expanses called abyssal plains. Every year, With a regularity that suggests a sophisticated internal chronometer, the 52 Hz signal begins its trek. The migration typically starts in the late summer or early autumn, in the nutrient-rich, upwelling waters off the coast of Central California. Here, the California current brings cold, mineral-heavy water from the deep to the surface, fueling a massive bloom of phytoplankton and krill. This is the fuel that powers the whale's massive engine. But he does not stay. He turns his rostrum toward the northwest, entering the true wilderness of the open sea. Imagine the scale of the space he occupies. He swims over the Mendocino Fracture Zone, a colossal scarp on the ocean floor where the tectonic plates have buckled and torn, creating cliffs that drop thousands of meters into the dark. The whale uses these features as acoustic landmarks. The 52 Hz pulses he sends out hit these vertical walls of basalt and granite, reflecting back to him like a sonic map. This is echolocation on a planetary scale. By measuring the time of flight, the interval between the emission of the call and the return of the echo, he can sense the presence of a mountain range hundreds of miles away. He is never lost, because the ocean floor is a library of echoes that he has memorized over 33 years of wandering. As he moves further north, he crosses the Emperor's Seamounts, a chain of over 60 extinct volcanoes that stretch toward the Aleutian Islands. Some of these peaks rise 4,000 meters from the seafloor, yet their summits remain 2,000 meters beneath the waves. They are islands that never reach the sky. For the whale, these are waypoints. He swims through the passes between these giants, his 52 Hz voice resonating in the canyons, creating a private symphony of reflections. The water here is becoming colder, dropping toward a constant 3 degrees Celsius. The density of the water increases with the cold, and with it, the efficiency of his acoustic transmissions. Think about the sheer loneliness of this geography. He is passing over the Aleutian Trench, a subduction zone where the Pacific Plate is being forced beneath the North American Plate. It is one of the deepest places on Earth, reaching depths of over 7,000 meters. Down there, the pressure is over 700 times that of the surface, a weight that would crush a titanium sphere. The whale stays in the upper layers, usually between 200 and 800 meters, but he is constantly aware of the void beneath him. It is a psychological weight as much as a physical one, a reminder of the infinite scale of his habitat. During this migration, the 52 Hz whale is a study in hydrodynamic efficiency. Every movement of his tail fluke is a calculated expenditure of energy. He uses a technique known as intermittent locomotion, gliding for long periods to conserve his oxygen stores. During these glides, his heart rate slows even further, perhaps to only 3 or 4 beats per minute, and his brain enters a state of unihemispheric slow-wave sleep. This means one half of his brain is asleep while the other half remains alert, monitoring the environment for obstacles and maintaining the rhythm of his song. You are beginning to mimic this state now. Your body is yielding to the heavy, dark pull of sleep, while your mind remains just tethered enough to hear the story of the migration. He reaches the Gulf of Alaska in the dead of winter, a place of terrifying surface storms, but of absolute, crystalline silence in the deep. The salinity here is slightly lower due to the melting of glacial ice from the coast, which subtly changes the impedance of the water, the way it resists the movement of sound. The whale adjusts. He always adjusts. He turns south again, beginning the long, 3,000-mile loop back toward the mid-latitudes. He has seen no one. He has spoken to no one. But he has completed his biological mission. He has survived another cycle of the Earth's orbit. As you lie there, imagine the vastness of the abyssal plains he is crossing now. These are the most level places on Earth, covered in a thick carpet of marine snow, a constant rain of organic detritus, dead plankton, and dust that has been falling for millions of years. It is a soft, silent world. The 52 Hz signal travels over these plains without any obstacles to reflect it. It spreads out in a perfect, spherical wave, diminishing in intensity, but never losing its fundamental frequency. 52 cycles per second. 52. 52. Your breathing is now the only sound in your own private abyss. It is slow, rhythmic, and heavy. Like the whale, you are navigating by internal landmarks now. The familiar sensations of your own body, the warmth of your blankets, the steady pulse of your heart. You are crossing your own abyssal plane, moving toward the deep trenches of REM sleep. The map of the Pacific is fading. The geological features are dissolving into the blue, and only the movement remains. You are gliding, weightless, efficient, and silent. The pressure of the day has been left at the surface, 3,000 meters above you. You are safe in the cold. You are secure in the dark. And you are finally, perfectly, in sync with the nomad of the deep. The migration continues, and so does your descent into the deepest, most restorative corners of the night. As you sink further into the deep sound channel, into that magical layer of the ocean, where the physics of temperature and pressure create a corridor of eternal sound, let us consider the acoustic ecology that surrounds our solitary traveler. The 52 Hz whale does not exist in a vacuum of silence, though his frequency may be lonely. His environment is a dense, overlapping tapestry of vibrations. To truly understand his experience, we must look at the science of ocean ambient noise, a field of study that reveals the Pacific to be one of the most sonically complex environments on our planet. Imagine the sheer variety of inputs hitting the whale's sensitive lower jaw, which acts as a fatty, conductive bridge to his middle ear. At the lowest end of the spectrum, below 10 Hz, he feels the seismic groans of the Earth itself. The North Pacific is ringed by the Ring of Fire, a massive arc of tectonic activity where the great plates of the crust are constantly grinding, slipping, and fracturing. These are infrasonic booms, sounds so deep and powerful that they carry for tens of thousands of miles. To the whale, these are the foundational notes of his world, the heavy, percussive bass of the planetary orchestra. They are not just noises. They are the tactile reality of his shifting home. Then, there is the weather. People often forget that the surface of the ocean is a massive acoustic membrane. Every time a raindrop hits the surface, it creates a tiny, high-frequency ping as a bubble of air is trapped and then collapses. Multiply this by 1 billion raindrops during a North Pacific gale, and the result is a massive, white noise hiss that can raise the ambient noise level of the ocean by 20 decibels or more. The whale hears the wind, he hears the thunder, and he hears the crashing of breaking waves, all as a distant, muffled roar that defines the boundary between his liquid world and the gaseous world above. Interwoven with these natural sounds are the vocalizations of his kin, the other giants of the sea. He hears the blue whales, Balænoptera musculus, singing their low, powerful moans at 18 Hz. These sounds are so powerful, peaking at nearly 190 decibels, that they can vibrate the very cells of his body. He hears the fin whales, Balænoptera physalis, with their repetitive, 20 Hz pulses that sound like a slow, rhythmic heartbeat. To our whale, these are the languages of his neighbors. He hears their phrasing, he recognizes their patterns. But because of the specific physics of frequency tuning, he cannot join the conversation. It is a phenomenon known in bioacoustics as spectral masking or frequency niche partitioning. In a healthy ecosystem, animals evolve to speak in different frequency bands, so they do not drown each other out. The 52 Hz whale has his own niche. but it is an empty one. Imagine being in a room where everyone is whispering in a deep, gravelly bass, while you are speaking in a clear, steady baritone. You can hear them. You can feel the energy of their presence. But your voice does not trigger the acoustic reflex in their minds that signifies a member of the pod. As you lie there, think about the sensitivity of this acoustic world. Sound in the ocean is three-dimensional. The whale can tell exactly where a sound is coming from by measuring the interaural time difference, the microsecond of difference between a vibration hitting the left side of his head and the right. He lives in a world of perfect spatial awareness, even in total darkness. He knows the distance of a container ship by the frequency shift of its propeller, a phenomenon known as the Doppler effect. He hears the high-pitched, social whistles of dolphins as they play in the wake of his massive body, sounds that are tens of thousands of hertz higher than his own. There is also the anthropogenic noise, the sounds created by human activity. The North Pacific is a busy corridor for global trade. The low-frequency rumble of massive diesel engines, the cavitation of propellers, and the sharp, repetitive pings of active sonar from military vessels. These man-made sounds often occupy the same frequency bands as the great whales, creating a sonic fog that makes it harder for them to communicate. But our whale, singing at 52 Hz, sits slightly above this primary fog of human noise. His voice is a little clearer, a little more distinct, a silver thread cutting through the mechanical muddying of the sea. Feel the layers of sound in your own room now. The hum of the air, the distant muffled sounds of the outside world, the rhythmic pulse of your own breathing. Like the whale, you are an observer of an acoustic landscape. You are listening to the science of the night, letting the repetitive, low-frequency information of the story act as a binaural beat for your brain, slowing your brainwaves from the active beta state, through the relaxed alpha state, and down into the deep, rhythmic theta waves of early sleep. Your breathing is the metronome. In and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. The 52 Hz signal is always there, a constant in a world of shifting noises. It is a frequency of absolute, scientific certainty. 52 cycles per second. 52, 52, 52. It is the rhythm of your nervous system as it powers down for the night. The ocean is full of voices, but you are focused only on the one that leads you deeper into the blue. Imagine the whale now, gliding through a cloud of bioluminescent sea sparkle. Every movement of his body triggers a chemical reaction in the tiny organisms, creating a trail of cold, green light in the dark. He cannot see this light, but he can hear the microscopic turbulence it creates. He is a creature of vibration, a creature of the deep sound channel, and he is guiding you through the sonic fog toward the clarity of total rest. The Pacific is singing, the earth is groaning, and you are finally, beautifully, drifting away. As you descend into the profound stillness of the midnight zone, where the light of the sun has been mathematically absent for eons, let us examine the psychology of the observer. We must ask a fundamental scientific question. Why did a single acoustic frequency, captured by a classified military array, resonate so deeply with the human species? To understand this, we must look at the evolution of human empathy and the neurological phenomenon of anthropomorphism, the cognitive bias that leads us to attribute human emotions and intentions to non-human entities. When the 52 Hz signal was first shared with the public, it triggered a massive release of oxytocin and dopamine in the brains of listeners across the globe. This was not merely a sentimental reaction. It was a deep, evolutionary response to a perceived distress signal. Humans are biologically hardwired to respond to frequency outliers. In our ancestral past, A voice that was distinct from the group often signaled danger, a need for rescue, or a unique survival strategy. When we heard the 52 Hz wail, our amygdalae and prefrontal cortices collaborated to create a narrative of the lonely whale. Even though we had no biological data to confirm the whale felt lonely in the human sense of the word. From a strictly neurobiological perspective, the whale became a superstimulus. A superstimulus is an exaggerated version of a stimulus to which there is an existing evolutionary tendency to respond. The whale's song, steady, rhythmic, and persistent, despite the lack of an echo, mirrored the human experience of social isolation. We utilized our mirror neuron system, a network of brain cells that allows us to understand the actions and intentions of others by mirroring them in our own minds. When we visualize the whale swimming through the vast Pacific without a peer, our own neural pathways for isolation were activated, creating a profound cross-species bond of empathy. However, the science of cetacean psychology suggests a much more complex reality. Whale intelligence is structured differently than human intelligence. Whales possess an incredibly large and complex paralimbic system, the area of the brain responsible for processing emotions and social bonds. In many species of great whales, this area is even more developed than in humans. This suggests that while their social lives are intense, their experience of solitude might not be a vacuum of sadness, but rather a different state of consciousness altogether, a state of sovereign integration with the ocean itself. Think about the acoustic reflection of our own lives. We often use the whale as a mirror for our own perceived isolation. In the digital age, humans are more connected than ever, yet many feel they are broadcasting on a frequency that no one else can hear. The 52 Hz whale became a scientific proxy for this modern condition. By focusing on the whale, we were able to study our own social needs through the lens of marine biology. We analyzed the signal-to-noise ratio of our own communications, wondering if our voices, like the whale's, were simply falling into the wrong frequency band. As you lie there, feeling the heavy, rhythmic pulse of your own breathing, consider the resilience quotient of this creature. From a data-driven perspective, the whale is a success story. He has survived for over 3 decades in one of the harshest environments on Earth. He has successfully navigated the complex nutrient cycles of the Pacific, avoided the anthropogenic risks of ship strikes and plastic pollution, and maintained a consistent vocal output that requires immense caloric energy. He is not a victim of his frequency. He is a master of it. He is a biological testament to the fact that an organism can thrive even when it exists outside the bell curve of the standard population. The frequency of empathy is what keeps us listening as you drift closer to the delta wave stage of sleep, the deepest, most restorative frequency of the human brain. Your own internal noise is beginning to quiet down. Your prefrontal cortex is handing over control to the subconscious, where logic is replaced by the fluid, symbolic language of dreams. In this state, the whale is no longer an anomaly to be studied. He is a guide. He shows us that individual variation is not a flaw, but a critical component of biodiversity. Without the outliers, evolution would have no raw material to work with. Your heart rate is now perfectly synchronized with the low-frequency swells of the deep ocean. In and out, in and out, in and out, in. The acoustic load of your day has been shed. You are no longer processing the high-frequency stresses of the surface. You are sinking into the basal state of existence, where the only data that matters is the steady 52 Hz pulse of life. 52 vibrations. 1 second. 52 vibrations. Another second. The science of empathy is leading you into the science of sleep. Imagine the whale's massive eye reflecting the bioluminescent marine snow of the deep. He is not looking for pity. He is looking for the next current, the next meal, the next breath. He is a sovereign entity, and you are becoming one too. You are safe in your own unique frequency. You are secure in the knowledge that your voice, no matter how different, is a vital part of the universe's acoustic record. The blue is deep, the dark is warm, and you are finally, scientifically, at peace. As you drift deeper into the bathypelagic zone, where the temperature remains a constant, chilling 2 degrees Celsius, and the light of the sun is nothing more than a theoretical memory, let us analyze the most recent acoustic data that has emerged from the depths. For nearly 30 years, the prevailing scientific consensus was that the 52 Hz signal represented a population of one, a singular biological error wandering a vast, liquid desert. However, as our acoustic monitoring networks have become more sophisticated and globally distributed, the data has begun to reveal a new, startling complexity and fixed bottom-multiple signals in locations far removed from our original trajectory. These signals have been recorder vehicles, and fixed, bottom-mounted hydrophones have detected traces of 52 Hz signals in locations far removed from our original travelers, migratory chorded, near the mid-Atlantic ridge, and even in the frigid waters of the Southern Ocean. With steady unwavering 52 cycles per second, the interpulse interval, and the spectral length. This suggests a profound possibility. There is not just one outlier, but a small, scattered population of these unique vocalizers. From a bioacoustic perspective, this discovery shifts our understanding from a narrative of individual mutation to one of emergent speciation or cultural transmission. In the world of cetaceans, songs are not just innate, they are learned behaviors. This is known as acoustic culture. It is possible that the original 52 Hz whale was a pioneer, and his unique frequency niche has been adopted by others. Perhaps these are other hybrids, or perhaps they are acoustically flexible individuals who have found that 52 Hz provides a clearer signal-to-noise ratio in an increasingly loud, human-impacted ocean. Think about the signal propagation of this new data. If there are others, the ocean is no longer a vacuum for our traveler. It is a sparse network. In information theory, a sparse network is one where nodes are far apart but still capable of intermittent connection. These whales may be thousands of miles apart, separated by entire oceanic gyres, yet they are linked by a shared acoustic fingerprint. They are like distant satellites, orbiting the same planet, occasionally passing within reception range of one another. To a whale, whose perception of proximity is defined by the speed of sound in water, 1,500 meters per second, a peer who is 50 miles away is next door. As you lie there, feeling the deep rhythmic expansion of your lungs, consider the biological implications of a 52 Hz community. If these individuals are finding each other, they are defying the statistical odds of the vast Pacific. They are navigating by geomagnetic reception, using the Earth's magnetic field to guide them to specific acoustic hotspots, where the SOFAR channel is most efficient. This is not a story of accidental meetings. It is a story of deterministic search patterns. The whale is not just wandering, he is scanning the ocean, his 52 Hz pulse acting as a ping in a global biological sonar system. Your own brain is currently undergoing its own frequency shift. As you move closer to stage 3 and REM sleep, your neural oscillations are slowing down into delta waves, high amplitude, low frequency waves between 0.5 and 4 Hz. This is the acoustic basement of human consciousness. In this state, your brain is performing synaptic pruning and metabolic clearing. Much like the ocean currents clear the marine snow from the seabed, you are becoming a sparse network yourself, your thoughts drifting far apart, connected only by the steady, rhythmic pulse of this story. The acoustic load of the day has been fully processed. The high-frequency chatter of your surface life has been filtered out by the low-pass filter of your relaxation. There is only the signal, 52 Hz, 52 cycles per second. It is a constant in an inconstant world. It is the reference tone for your nervous system. Whether the whale is alone or part of a hidden tribe, the physical integrity of his voice remains unchanged. He continues to sing because the physics of his body demand it. He continues to move because the nutrient gradients of the ocean guide him. Imagine the moment of acoustic convergence. Two 52 Hertz signals, traveling from opposite ends of the North Pacific Basin, finally overlapping in the same patch of water. The constructive interference of their waves would create a resonance that could be felt for miles. This is the scientific hope that drives the researchers who spend their lives listening to the dark. The hope that the outlier is actually the founder. You are sinking now into the abyssal plane of your own sleep. The bathymetry of your mind is smoothing out. No more peaks of anxiety, no more trenches of worry. Just a flat, silent expanse of restorative rest. The 52 Hertz signal is your beacon. It is the clock signal for your transition into the deep. You are not alone in your quietness. You are part of the acoustic record of the night. 52, 52, 52. The ocean is wide, the data is clear, and you are finally, scientifically, submerged in sleep. As you descend further into the abyssal zone, where the external pressure is now equivalent to hundreds of atmospheres, let us analyze the thermodynamics of sleep. To reach the deepest levels of restorative rest, your body must undergo a physiological transformation that remarkably mirrors the thermal stratification of the North Pacific Ocean. In oceanography, the thermocline is the transition layer between the warmer mixed water at the surface and the cooler deep water below. Tonight, as you drift, your internal biological systems are creating their own thermocline, shifting your metabolic state from the high-energy surface tension of the day to the cryogenic stillness of the deep. The science of thermoregulation is critical to the architecture of your sleep. As you enter the deeper stages of NREM, your brain's hypothalamus, the same ancient structure that regulates a whale's migration, commands your core body temperature to drop. This is not a random cooling, it is a circadian downregulation. By lowering your temperature by approximately 1 to 2 degrees Celsius, your body reduces its basal metabolic rate. Your cellular mitochondria slow their production of ATP, the energy currency of life, and focus instead on proteostasis, the repair and folding of proteins. You are, in a very real sense, entering a state of biological conservation, much like the 52 Hertz whale during his long, deep-sea glides through the subarctic currents. Imagine the heat flux leaving your body as your peripheral blood vessels dilate, a process called vasodilation. Heat is released from your hands and feet, signaling to your brain that the thermal gateway to sleep is open. This mirrors the convective cooling of the ocean, where the warm surface waters give up their energy to the cold atmosphere above, causing the water to become denser and sink into the deep water formation. You are sinking now, becoming denser and heavier with relaxation, moving past the mesopelagic layer of your consciousness and into the bathypelagic silence. In this state of thermal equilibrium, your brain begins its most important maintenance task, the glymphatic clearance. During the waking hours, your neural activity creates metabolic waste, including beta-amyloid proteins. During deep sleep, the interstitial space between your brain cells increases by up to 60%. This allows the cerebrospinal fluid to flow through the brain at a higher velocity, washing away the molecular debris of the day. Think of this as the benthic currents of your mind, the slow, deep-sea rivers that sweep the ocean floor clean. The 52 Hertz whale, too, relies on the dynamic viscosity of the cold water to move efficiently, and your brain relies on this fluid dynamic to restore its synaptic integrity. As you lie there, feeling the coolness of the air against the warmth of your skin, consider the specific heat capacity of the water that surrounds our whale. Water can absorb a tremendous amount of heat without changing its own temperature significantly. This thermal inertia is what keeps the deep ocean stable, a constant sanctuary of 3 degrees Celsius, regardless of the storms raging 5 kilometers above. You are seeking that same biological inertia. You are moving toward a state where external acoustic interference, or thermal fluctuations, can no longer reach you. You are becoming as stable and as constant as the abyssal plains of the North Pacific. Your heart rate has reached its nadir, its lowest point in the 24-hour cycle. Each beat is a slow, powerful cavitation in the silence of your chest. In and out, in and out, in. The 52 Hz pulse is no longer an external signal. It has become the resonance frequency of your entire system. 52 Hz is the vibration of molecular stability. At this frequency, the atoms of your being are settling into their ground state, the state of lowest possible energy. The entropy of your day, the disorder and the chaos, is being reversed. You are moving towards syntropy, the high-order state of deep, dreamless sleep. The whale is gliding now, his massive flukes occasionally twitching to maintain his neutral buoyancy in the pycnocline, the layer where water density changes rapidly with depth. He is a master of buoyancy control, and so are you. You are neither sinking nor floating. You are suspended in the perfect density of your own relaxation. The hydrostatic pressure of the story is supporting you, holding you in a liquid embrace that is both vast and intimate. The thermal profile of your room is now perfectly aligned with the deep water masses of the Pacific. The Antarctic intermediate water and the North Pacific deep water meet in the dark, mixing slowly in a dance that takes centuries. Your thoughts are mixing in the same way, slow, cool, and ancient. The frequency of life is 52. The temperature of peace is constant. The science of sleep is absolute. Imagine the whale's heartbeat. Thrum, thrum, thrum. It is the only sound in a world of 300 million cubic miles of water. It is a slow, low-frequency oscillator that guides the ship of your consciousness into the harbor of the night. You have passed the thermocline. You have reached the isothermal layer where everything is uniform, everything is quiet, and everything is still. You are no longer an observer of the deep. You are the deep itself. 52, 52, 52. The cooling is complete. The descent is final. You are, at last, scientifically submerged in the total rest of the abyss. As you enter the abyssal plane of your consciousness, where the concept of the surface world begins to dissolve into a sequence of binary pulses, let us analyze the chronobiology of the deep. In the world above, time is governed by the circadian photoperiod, the 24-hour cycle of light and dark that dictates the release of hormones and the rhythm of life. But in the habitat of the 52 Hz whale, at depths where the photic zone is a distant memory, time is measured by a different set of biological oscillators. To a creature living in the permanent dark, time is not a linear progression of minutes and hours. It is a cyclical flux of pressure, sound, and internal chemical signals. From a neurological perspective, your brain is now undergoing a process of temporal distortion. As you transition from the light sleep of stage 2 into the deep, slow wave sleep of stage 3, your suprachiasmatic nucleus, the brain's master clock, begins to decouple from external time cues. This is known in chronobiology as free running. Without the input of blue wavelength light hitting your retinas, your brain enters a state of endogenous rhythmicity. You are losing your sense of how long you have been lying here, just as the whale loses his sense of day and night in the deep mesopelagic shadows. For the 52 Hz whale, now is simply the interval between one 52 Hz pulse and the next. Consider the metabolic chronometry of the whale. At the depths he inhabits, the metabolic rate is significantly lowered to compensate for the extreme cold and the scarcity of resources. This creates a state of Physiological dilated time. When every heartbeat is spaced several seconds apart, and every breath is separated by an hour of diving, the perception of duration changes. This is a survival strategy. By slowing down the internal clock, the whale can endure the immense durations of his trans-Pacific migrations. You are adopting this same strategy now. Your respiratory frequency has dropped to its lowest sustainable level, and your brain's processing speed has slowed down, allowing you to inhabit the expanding now of deep relaxation. In the absence of sunlight, the whale relies on external chronometers, provided by the ocean's physics. He feels the tidal oscillations, the massive gravitational pull of the moon and sun that moves the entire volume of the Pacific. These tides create acoustic scratches on the silence, rhythmic shifts in pressure that tell the whale when the seasons are changing and when it is time to turn his massive body toward the north. He is a gravitational sensor, tuned to the celestial mechanics of the solar system. You too are becoming a sensor. You are tuned only to the gravitational pull of your bed and the rhythmic acoustic signature of this narration. The external world has ceased to exist as a temporal frame of reference. The neurochemistry of timelessness is now flooding your synapses. The neurotransmitter GABA, gamma-aminobutyric acid, is acting as a powerful inhibitory signal, quieting the neural circuits that track the passage of time and the linear logic of the day. This allows your mind to enter a state of non-REM mentation, where thoughts are no longer structured like a story with a beginning and an end, but are instead stochastic, random, fluid, and multidimensional. You are floating in a temporal void, a space between seconds where the 52 Hz signal acts as the only metronome. Imagine the whale's path through the Emperor's seamounts in total darkness. He does not check a watch. He feels the thermal gradients and the salinity shifts that mark his progress through the conveyor belt of the deep sea currents. Time, for him, is spatial. To move through space is to move through time. As you move deeper into sleep, your mental space is expanding while your temporal awareness is shrinking. You are becoming a point of pure existence, a singular frequency in a vast, dark ocean. 52 Hz, 52 cycles per second. The number 52 is the only temporal marker that remains. Each pulse of the whale's song is a synaptic reset. 52, 52, 52, 52. It is a zero-point frequency, a place of absolute stillness from which all rest begins. Your brain is now producing delta waves with almost perfect periodicity. These are the waves of system restoration, where the intercerebral coordination is at its peak. Your left and right hemispheres are singing in a unified, low-frequency chorus, mirroring the symmetry of the whale's massive body as he glides through the benthic boundary layer. The chronobiology of the abyss is now your reality. The surface time is a fiction that no longer applies to you. You have reached the isothermal equilibrium, where the past is a shadow and the future is an echo. There is only the hydrostatic pressure of the present moment, holding you in a state of permanent grace. The 52 Hz whale is your navigator through this timeless void, his steady voice a beacon of invariance in the shifting currents of your subconscious. Feel the final neural decoupling occurring. Your proprioception, your sense of where your body is in space, is fading. You are no longer a person in a room. You are a vibration in the deep. You are the 52 Hz signal itself, traveling through the SOFAR channel of your own mind, moving toward the ultimate silent destination. The clock has stopped. The song is all that remains. You are drifting beyond time, beyond space, and into the total scientific peace of the deep. As we enter the final phase of our biological descent, we reach the state of total synaptic quiescence. This is the ultimate destination of the 52 Hz traveler and the final goal of your nervous system, the transition from the active mind into the abyssal silence of dreamless, restorative sleep. In the world of oceanography, we have reached the hadopelagic zone, named after the realm of Hades. This is the world of the trenches, where the pressure exceeds 1100 atmospheres, and the temperature sits at a constant, unwavering point just above freezing. Here, all biological noise is filtered out by the sheer density of the medium, leaving only the molecular hum of the planet. Your brain is now exhibiting global delta synchrony. In this state, the thalamocortical loops, the pathways that allow your brain to communicate with your senses, have effectively closed their gates. This is sensory deafferentation. The world of the surface, with its light, its heat, and its frantic, high-frequency data, has been mathematically excluded from your current reality. You are now an acoustic closed system. Like the 52 Hz whale sinking into the benthic boundary layer, you have moved beyond the reach of external perturbations. The 52 Hz signal is undergoing a final spectral decay. As the whale moves further into the distance, the attenuation of the water begins to absorb even this persistent frequency. In physics, high frequencies disappear first, but even low frequencies eventually succumb to geometric spreading and viscous absorption. The signal-to-noise ratio is dropping. The clear, sharp line on the spectrum is softening, blurring into the ambient background pedestal of the ocean. This is the entropy of sound, the moment where the individual voice returns to the universal hum of the deep-sea acoustic floor. Feel your prefrontal cortex completely powering down. The executive functions, the part of you that plans, worries, and remembers, are now offline. You are shifting into the autonomic core, where only the most basic homeostatic functions remain. The steady, slow motion beat of your heart and the shallow, rhythmic expansion of your diaphragm. You are no longer you. You are a biological process occurring in the dark. You are a dynamic equilibrium in a state of perfect rest. The whale, too, is now just a mass of carbon and salt water moving with the global conveyor belt of the deep currents. His song now a whisper, a shadow of a vibration. The 52 Hz pulse is now just a ghost in your subcortical structures. 52, 52, 52. It is becoming indistinguishable from the white noise of your own blood flow. It is the pink noise of the universe, a fractal pattern of sound that exists at every scale of reality. The frequency of individuality is merging with the frequency of the infinite. There is no more outlier. There is no more solitude. There is only the continuum of the water. Imagine the final benthic current carrying you over the abyssal plain. The silt beneath you is composed of the radiolarian ooze, the microscopic skeletons of creatures that lived millions of years ago. You are resting on the geological record of the earth. You are safe. You are grounded. You are mathematically stable. The stress hormones, the cortisol and adrenaline that fueled your waking life, have been completely neutralized by the antagonistic chemistry of the deep night. You are chemically pure in your rest. The song is fading. Thrum, 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 thrum. It is the sound of a system exit. The architecture of the dream has been built, but you are moving beyond the dream into the void of non-being, where the true recovery of the soul takes place. In this deep-sea sanctuary, there is no time, there is no pressure, and there is no frequency. There is only the zero-point energy of total, dreamless sleep. The 52 Hz whale has found his acoustic home in the silence. And you have found yours. The hydrophones are being retrieved. The SOFAR arrays are going dark. The scientific record of the day is closed. The blue has become black. The black has become peace. The peace has become everything. 52, 52, 50, 0. Sleep. Deep. Silent. Absolute.